Are you ready for your final battle?
I'm ready, master.
Let's begin. Just do it and it goes. This right here is a circle. Do you understand it?
Yes, I do.
You've learned so much. I think you're ready.
I've gotten older, and this sword is no longer what it was. I need a new sword and new armor. That young scholar yonder might be able to provide me with such things, given certain implications. I'm drowned right now.
Please, what do you want? Take anything, even my hat.
I need new samurai armor.
How can I help?
A new sword.
I might be able to help. I used to work at the construction factory.
I need to construct them now.
I might be able to construct you some pieces.
Well, you're not getting your hat back.
What's up, Algebros? It's Professor Milo back with another construction, and here we are going to be constructing a parallelogram. So here I'm just drawing my line, it looks pretty straight. Now we're going to get our points on each end, 1 point, another point. So now we're going to make some arcs of any length, your length is your length. And we're going to make them at a 90-degree angle or a right angle to the bottom line. Sorry for that little bit of quiet. So here I am just proving that they're right angles. And now I'm going to find the midpoint of those arcs. You know how we do that. With the two intersecting arcs, we do a point basically in the middle of them. Here I am just repeating that on the other side. Sorry for that another moment of quiet. So I've got my points. I'm going to connect them to the points of the line, I believe. Yeah, so the points on the edges of the line connect to the midpoints of those arcs. Now it's starting to look a little bit more like a parallelogram, but we're still missing a big line, so here I am just going to draw that from the midpoints of both arcs. There's Henry getting in the frame, but we don't care about that. And now I've got my parallelogram. Now I just need to clean it up a little bit, so I'm going to erase the edges, all those arcs, that unnecessary stuff. And at the end, you've got yourself a beautiful, clean, just amazing looking parallelogram, just ripe for the picking. Thank you for listening, and that's a parallelogram. I think we got a little bit more. Oh yeah, there's me just kind of reinforcing those points. And now I'm gonna hand it over to Jack.
What's up, guys? Today our goal is to find the center of a circle using two chords. So I just kind of drew two random chords in the circle right there. And now I'm going to make arcs at a random point that I will keep. Just make sure you don't lose that point. I'll make an arc to the left and an arc down below using that top left point. Now I'm going to the bottom left point, and I'll cross over the first arc on the left, and then I'll make another one at the top left. I'll go to that bottom right point, and I'll cross that over in the middle, and then up at the right. So you see that? I'm not sorry for this little bit of quiet. I am remembering how to do this functionally and properly. But the goal is to make 4 intersections. And then you connect the the opposite intersections between those two arcs, making a dot in the middle. And then you kind of clean up your area, clean up all of the chords and the arcs that are unnecessary to keep. And you should now have the center of the circle right there.
We'll draw some shapes, lines, and angles. These constructions need to be wrangled.
Now let these tricksters say what's up. We'll teach you how to draw a line. Take a sip from the construction cup. Your mind will explode like a mine.
Now take a look at Chucky's pentagon. You might just be blown away and gone. Or take a look at whatever Jack made. We did this just to get a good grade.
First off, we gotta grab a ruler. You need a ruler to get this moolah. Then you must go get a compass. Tricksters really hate the dumb.
Transformation, rotations, reflections too.
Curves, triangles, circles, and squares.
Dimensions, planes, surfaces, and towers.
Equalities, inequalities, and parallels and jets.
Pies, perimeters, areas, trigonometry.
With tools in your hand and mind so bright, we'll conquer geometry with all of our might.
Henry might now just be Haley, but that's just because he's bad at painting. These triangles looking for an circle. He must have malfunctioning pseudo-tubercle. What's up, Algebros? It's Professor Milo back with yet another beautiful construction. This time it's going to be an octagon. Again, we're just enjoying that beautiful transition from Editor Jack. Here I've got a regular square. Oh, there's Assistant Jack. Hey, Assistant Jack, get out of my way now. So we have a center of the square. And right here, I'm going to be drawing arcs through the center of the square. And they don't have to be like laser precise, accurate. They just have to be somewhat in the region, and it'll end up pretty beautiful, just like mine did. So we're going to draw 4 arcs, one from each corner to the center. Sorry for that moment of silence, but it's getting pretty boring. Whew, can't imagine being in the audience right now. Oh, here comes Assistant Jack. I wonder what he's going to do. Oh, I gotta hit him to make sure he doesn't do anything bad. Oh, there he goes, erasing my stuff. Cut, and I'm back with a full square. And here I am, I'm probably gonna hit Jack again. He probably deserves it. So anyway, there I've got my completed biohazard. Oh, threatening him there. Here I've got my completed biohazard arcs. And right now, we're just gonna draw some, I guess you could call them diagonals, but it's gonna be horizontally and vertically through the square. We're going to be drawing diagonals from the edges of each of those diagonals. So it'll be basically from the midpoints of each side to the next midpoint. Yeah, I know it's getting kind of boring, Assistant Jack, but you better not be spinning that compass. Spinning the compass is bad for you, and it's bad for the compass, so I better not catch any of y'all doing it. Thanks to Mr. Edwards for that lesson. Anyway, here I've got all my nice little lines, and I'm going to be drawing some more. So the outside ones are the ones that really matter, and those are going to be from the edges of each arc or each biohazard part to the next edge of the next biohazard part. And there you might not be able to see it, but we do have a nice little octagon hiding in the bush. Sorry about that. And so what we're going to do is what we always do. We're going to clean it up, shave it. We got a nice little octagon coming out. Scrum-diddly-umptious, am I right? And this will be a regular octagon. You never know when you're going to need a regular octagon. It can serve many purposes. Interior angles 135. Looks like I erased a little bit of that top left side, but who cares? Still an octagon, still regular. Here's Assistant Jack counting all the sides to make sure. That's one of his top skills, is counting, giving the thumbs up. And now we're going to
Thank you, Professor Milo. Now here we're making a pentagon, giving a circle in its center. So the first thing you do is draw a line straight from the top to the bottom through its center. And then you mark ticks from the top and the bottom. Make sure it's just over halfway. After you do that, you draw a line from the center through the ticks that you just made. And then go back to the center and make sure you make marks that are just inside the circle. And then you go to the outside and make the same length arcs over there. Once you make that, you can draw a line through those 2 arcs that you created. And that's going to give you the midpoint of the radius. Once you have the midpoint of the radius, you're going to want to draw a semicircle or a full circle around with the radius going to the center of the circle. Once you have that, you want to draw a line from the bottom of the circle through the midpoint of the circle you just constructed. And then you find the length from the bottom of the circle to the part of the circle you just constructed where the line you just made went through. And then you draw a big arc across the entire circle with that. Once you have that, find the length between the top of the circle and the point where the long arc connected the big circle. Once you have that length, you keep going down distance all around the big triangle. After you've completely done that, you connect every single point you created and you have a pentagon. Thank you. And now, let's hand it back to Professor Milo.
Oh, what's up, Algebros? It's Professor Milo back with another banger. Today we're going to be making a triangle with some congruent end circles. And it might not make sense now, but when you see my beautiful drawing of it with the Japanese writing, you'll be like, holy cow, Professor Milo, you are a genius. So here I've got another biohazard. These are just midpoints. We're making midpoints on each of the sides of the equilateral triangle, which, by the way, if you'll remember, Assistant Jack actually taught us how to make an equilateral triangle. So you can combine those or just make a triangle that looks about accurate. So I've got my midpoints. Now I'm drawing arcs on the outside of the triangle. So from one corner around the opposite two corners. And it kind of looks silly right now, I'm going to be honest. Get out of the way, Professor Jack. Now we're just going to draw straight lines downwards, which is actually really hard. Don't underestimate it. We've got a little moment of confusion here. Anyway, I'm drawing my straight lines. Now I'm just going to connect the other two to that one. So the first line is really the hard part. And that looks awfully like another equilateral triangle, but you know, without proving it, we have no idea. Anyway, now that we've got that, we're going to be drawing lines from the corner to the opposite point that we just made. So from the corner of each triangle to the opposite point we just made, and there we go, there's another triangle. And we can clean up the arcs outside. We've got a kind of messy interior, but you know, we're gonna clean it up a little bit. And we're just gonna keep those lines that we most recently made, which were from the corner to the points. And inside of those, we can draw circles with the boundary being the lines that surround it. Can't really see here, it's not a great angle, but me and Assistant Jack are just vibing out while I make these circles. And then I'm gonna remake the arcs for purposes of this figure right here, and I'm handing it back to Professor Jack.
What's up, guys? It's now the Professor Jack here, showing you this little creation I made. It's a cool figure that you can put on samurai armor. I sped this up 100 times, so this was a real time consumer. But it looks pretty sick and is a great decoration in case you might need something. And it shows you that you can make great art. And I am not an artist myself, but I made this beautiful art just off a straight edge, a compass, and constructions with my brain and a YouTube video. Very helpful. Alright, I'm not sorry for that bit of quiet, but this is the end result right here, and I think it looks just great. It did not look as great as the YouTube video, but I think it turned out well. Thank you. Stand up, mathematician. You've served me well. Here is your hat back.